Savage.
Randy Troy here with a quick video. A lot of people were asking about this in the comments. People wanted a collection tour. It's certainly been a while since I've done one. There's a lot of new pieces. I try to incorporate the collection into each video that I do, especially in the chapter reviews. I like to move them around into the position of like who was actually in the chapter and sort of create a little collage with them. Some people have caught on to that. But I'm excited to show you guys the collection because I spent a lot of time the past 2 days reorganizing things. I created this whole new Marineford area. So what I have here is a mixture of the Banpresto World Collectible Figure line and some Chinese customs from studios such as YZ Studio, BBF, Big Family Studio, G5 Studio, League Studio. These are some of the resin distributors out of China. Some of my favorite pieces here are definitely the Marco. That's absolutely my #1 favorite piece on this display here, this whole Marineford setup. This Marco is amazing. I'm a big fan of the Oris Jr. I like to scale my figures out. I don't think that, a Kuma or a Big Mom should be anywhere near the same size as a Luffy figure. So I pay very close attention to how tall they are and how everything is going to fit in. Because basically Banpresto, like every month or 2 months, will put out 6 to 8 new figures. But most of the time they end up missing a lot of the key components of each arc. Like one of my favorite characters in the series is Bellamy, but Banpresto never made a New World Bellamy, but YZ Studio did. So that's the Bellamy that's sitting up on top of my shelf. Like Mr. 3 is another one of my favorites, but Banpresto never made a Mr. 3. They made a Mr. 4 and Miss Merry Christmas, but they never made Mr. 3. Well, they didn't make a Alabasta Mr. 3. G5 Studio did. So that's the one that's sitting on the Alabasta shelf. I've tried to organize my collection by arc, mostly. There's the Alabasta shelf. I've got the Marineford shelf. I've got the Wano, which is, constantly in progress with everything going on in Wano. The top shelf is basically the Straw Hats, the Grand Fleet, anybody that's been on the ship, anybody that's affiliated with the crew in any sort of way, allies. And I have my Dressrosa shelf. I just got this, the Fujitora that's up there. Love it. It's an awesome figure. I love that it has the meteor effect on the bottom, and also his gravity powers. Awesome. My #1 favorite piece on this shelf is definitely the Bellamy, though. Love it. The Banpresto line did not make like 95% of the Don Quixote family, so most of these are customs from YZ Studio and A+ Studio, which is another studio. Some of my other favorites on the Dressrosa shelf are definitely the Baby 5. I love the sculpt on that by YZ Studio. The Pika is pretty cool. I love the mini Leo and Wicca as well. Also, I have newly a whole cake shelf, which I designed together with my fiance Chrissy. She helped put all the little designs into the cake. It was a nice little diorama project for us, and we just finished that. I think it came out really great. The Big Mom is actually fairly new. Very happy with what YZ Studio did with that. Some of my favorites on this shelf are definitely the Perospero from BBF Studio. Love it. I also love that it has the candy arm after the Pedro attack. I also love the Daifuku. Came with a genie. The Capone's great, the Pedro's great. Love the Brulee with an actual mirror. Then below that, it's basically sort of a mishmash of pre-time skip. There's a couple of post-time skip guys in there, but that's mostly because I just don't have a place for them. And then on the bottom of my shelf is flashbacks. All of the people that characters have inherited will from, and their mentor figures, all of that, them as kids, etc. At the very top, I have a couple of, my key favorite characters in more of a bigger style figure, along with a lot of Skypiea. Obviously it's at the very top, might as well do that. But then there's some other figures sort of in there as well, because I'm running out of space. From the Wano shelf, I just got this page 1. This came today, actually. Very happy about this. This is from BBF Studios. This is a custom. I love that I have an Otama. I think that that's great. The Wano Frankie is awesome and accurate scale. Love it. I'm very partial to the page 1 that I just got. I also got the Speed. I got a new King from YZ Studio. That came today as well. Recently, finally got a Conjuro that's from the official line, the Banpresto line. But obviously the centerpieces for this entire Wano area here are, this big guy and then the Dragon Kaido. Both of these are from G5 Studio. Love them. They're fantastic. Down here we have sort of like a Reverie sort of mishmash. I've got the Revolutionary Army, I've got CP0, and then sort of like, an Emperor sort of thing. Oh yeah, can't forget that I have an Enies Lobby area as well, with a accurate Enies Lobby diorama from G5 Studio. Very happy about that. The T-Bone there is brand new. That's from YZ Studio. My favorite pieces on this shelf are definitely the Sogeking, which is an official. This Frankie is awesome. Love the pose on the Frankie. That's also an official. And I also just like the Iceberg. It's just like Iceberg is a cool character. The fact that they made a figure is awesome. On the Alabasta shelf, my favorite piece here is definitely the Vivi. This Vivi, fun fact, is actually the very first figure that I bought of this miniature World Collectible Figure line. So it all sort of started with this. I got this Vivi, I got a pre-time skip Bellamy, and I got Gin from the Baratier arc. All sort of in quick succession. When my fiance bought me the Thousand Sunny that's on the top shelf over there, that's when I sort of exploded. I was like, all right, well, I gotta get the crew, and then I gotta get this, and suddenly now I have like every character known to One Piece history. My other favorite on the Alabasta shelf is Mr. 3. On the top shelf, my favorite pieces are probably the Buggy, obviously the Bellamy, but I talked about that. I am a fan of the Frankie that's on top of the ship, the Vivi that's on top of the ship. The Thousand Sunny in general is just awesome. The print in the background, I got a Comic-Con. The Gin, by virtue of being one of my very first figures. The Kobe is really awesome from the Reverie. I was very disappointed in the anime when it didn't accurately portray that panel of him like actually jumping onto the ship. Strange, because it was such a for me, an iconic Kobe reveal when it happened in Chapter 903. My favorite pieces up here are definitely all the ones in the back, the tall figures. I love the Magellan. I'm also a really big fan of this Luffy on the other side, when he's holding the flag and the drum arc. That part is very iconic to me, and also why you see the Conviction flag flying at the beginning of my videos, because that's what my production company is called, Conviction Studios, and I got it from not only Dr. Heroic, but also Luffy in that moment yelling at Wapol, basically saying that you cannot tarnish a man's flag because it is a symbol of conviction, a symbol of their faith. It is unbreakable, it is unwavering, and it is the most heinous thing that you could do to someone in that world. And I don't know, it just resonates with me, obviously. And then another new piece that I got pretty recently is this. An eternal pose. I love stuff like this, like actual props and things. I have a lot of stuff like this for like movies and TV shows and other parts of my apartment. This is just like the One Piece corner. Oh, and one more thing. A lot of people have been asking about the wooden poster that I have for Luffy up there. So that was a gift that my fiance got me a couple of years ago at Comic-Con in New York City. So if any of you are in the New York City area or go to New York Comic-Con, be sure to look out for that guy's booth. I've gone to several Comic-Cons in the past couple of years. That guy has always been there. He even had last October, not this October obviously because Comic-Con was canceled because of COVID, but the previous Comic-Con, chapter 957 had come out, and since there may be anime-only people watching this, I'm not going to spoil which bounties were in that chapter, but that guy had wooden versions of those as well. He's very good at what he does. Check out Reddit. I know that he's pretty active on there. I don't know what his name is, but if you look up like maybe wooden bounty posters, maybe it'll pop up. So I get nothing for recommending this. A lot of people have asked, and there you have it. That's it for me. I just wanted to give you guys a tour of everything. Everybody's been asking about it. If you like this, and if you'd like me to do more stuff like this when I update, like quick things like, hey, look at what I got. Cool. If you don't really care about it, that's fine. Thank you, everybody. Other videos are coming out very soon. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.